Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Friday, the 14th day of February. What is that? It is Valentine's
something.
Day. Yes. Happy Valentine's Day, sweetie.
Happy Valentine's Day to you.
You've been my Valentine for 20 years now.
I know.
I'm going to get you a card or something.
That'll be great.
All right. It's also National Cream-Filled Chocolates Day. Oh, hey, I could get you those.
Oh, those are my favorite.
National Ferris Wheel Day. Where can we find a Ferris wheel to go on? National Organ Donor Day. I'm going to donate you an organ.
I bet you will.
That sounds naughty. That's not what I meant, but I'll second that. And No One Eats Alone Day today. So that's really nice.
That's nice.
And I've got a guest joining me on the program later today. Super excited to chat with a guy by the name of Roger Nygard. You're probably going, okay, who is that? Well, he's got a documentary that he's worked on for a long time. It's called The Truth About Marriage, and today's the perfect day to talk about that. It's all on the way. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Student loan debt is out of control for many people. Are you one of them? The average graduate walks away with anywhere from $25,000 to $40,000 in student loans. Believe it or not, 2% even manage to owe over $100,000 by the time they graduate. If you have several different student loans, let us consolidate them into one loan and one payment at singlestudentloan.com. If you have only one student loan, we may be able to offer you a better rate to help you get that loan paid off sooner at singlestudentloan.com. That's singlestudentloan.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. A Gallup poll found that 90% of Americans are satisfied with the way things are going in their personal life. That's good.
That is very good. I saw this.
What a great study for Valentine's
That's a
Day.
wonderful study.
And here's the thing. You watch some media and they will try to make you feel like everybody's upset. But think about this. Are you happy? The people you know, are they happy?
Yep.
If they are, then why are you listening to the media?
Exactly.
And this study said 90%.
90%. That's huge. That's the highest it's ever been,
that's
by
awesome.
the way.
So I'm happy. Are you happy, Heidi?
I'm very happy.
Let's be happy together.
Let's do that.
It's Valentine's Day. Thanks for listening to Surveys and Studies and Such, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
When was the last time you got a new credit card? If you have a card that's been in your purse or wallet for a long time, you should check and see if you're getting the best rates. You may find a better credit card that will give you the points you want or cashback options you don't get right now. At BetterCreditCards.com, you see all the major credit card companies and their best offers. Let them compete to earn your business. And if the one you have right now is better, keep it. Find a card that's a better fit for you at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
This is your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by TimeForRehab.com. The mayor of a New Jersey town admitted that he drank so much during a party at a township employee's house that he took off his pants and passed out in her bed.
Oh.
Yeah, Mayor John Roth said in an interview with the news organization that he apologized to the unidentified employee who did not wish to comment in the report. The mayor's actions, were detailed in an anonymous letter signed by concerned employees of the township. Says circulated last week. According to the report, Roth was elected in 2018 on the same ballot where the former mayor was recalled from office. The recall of the former mayor was launched in January of 2018 by a group of citizens who were upset about him accusing former Department of Public Works director of having pornography in his work computer based on an anonymous letter he received. Okay. So it sounds like they got a lot of problems going on.
There's some busybodies in that town that like to write anonymous letters.
Yeah, but it sounds like there's a lot of anonymous letters being sent because there's a lot of weird things happening in that city hall. So everybody just calm down and maybe get some people in there that don't do those kind of things. That would be a good plan. That's happening in New Jersey. And that is also this dude getting drunk and passing out in somebody's bed. That's what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Whoopi Goldberg's cannabis brand is going out of business after a rift between Whoopi and her partner. A lot of people didn't even know that she had a cannabis brand. I didn't know that.
Imagine Whoopi not being able to get along with somebody. That's just shocking.
It's crazy. I don't watch The View, but I saw a clip that was shared, and it was just a clip of Whoopi like yelling at guests. And it was,
unhinged.
One clip that had a whole bunch of different people getting yelled at. They're like, why would they keep this lady on the show?
Exactly.
But I'm like, hey, you're sharing clips, so maybe it's for ratings? I don't know. 86-year-old Larry King says that the 26-year age gap between him and his wife finally took its toll on their relationship. That's sad news to be sharing on Valentine's
That
Day.
is very sad.
I got the news last week. Does that help? And Birds of Prey opened last week in theaters and did quite well from the sounds of it. Opening this weekend, for those of you who are wondering what can you go see with your sweetheart for Valentine's Day, Downhill, rated R. I don't believe that's a love story. I think it's actually the opposite of that.
Okay.
Fantasy Island, The Photograph, Sonic the Hedgehog, and What About Love? All of these
I'll have to
in theaters
do
this
some
weekend.
searching and start watching trailers again. I never see anything anymore.
Yeah, we haven't been to the movies in a while. Want to go to the movies tonight?
I don't know.
Okay. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
It's a new year. Have you made a resolution to quit drinking or to finally get away from drugs for good? These are both habits that are hard to kick, but you can do it. We want to help you. TimeForRehab.com is here to help you find the help you need with your particular situation. If you want to make this year the year you get the help you need to live a normal life again, start with a little help from us at TimeForRehab.com. That's TimeForRehab.com.
Now your scoop of the day, brought to you by FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. Expectant moms need to stop blaming their pregnancy for memory lapse. Did I say all that right? I don't know. Experts say they want to dispel the old baby brain myth. It says neither pregnancy nor motherhood confuses a woman's brain, according to Australian researchers. So they're saying that's been something that's been floating around.
Oh, see, I hadn't heard that before. So.
They said the baby brain thing is a myth, so don't buy into that. And then, because here's what happens quite often when you are told something's going to happen, then you actually start falling into that.
Sure.
You know, I'm so forgetful because of my baby brain.
Right.
And then other people are going, wait, that doesn't really exist. So then you look silly. So it doesn't exist. So if you thought you had that, you don't. The good news is today's going to be an awesome day.
There you go.
You don't have it anymore.
There
See?
you go.
Switzerland has passed a new law that gives an automatic prison sentence to anyone making homophobic comments online.
This is a bad idea.
I think it is. It's like Big Brother stuff here. I'm not saying that I'm for people being mean to each other.
No, of course
I'm not. But I also think that the government doesn't necessarily need to step in.
No, the government cannot police.
And then they get to decide what is a comment that's offensive and what is a comment that's not offensive. So that's the scary part. Over 3,500 people remain quarantined. Now I'm going to just pause. I got this story like 3 or 4 days ago. So I don't know if this is still the case. I hope not. But at the time I got this story, over 3,500 people remained quarantined on a cruise ship in Japan when 2 passengers were diagnosed with the coronavirus. So I don't know if they're are they still on there? Do you know?
I don't know as of today.
Yeah, this was in the news the other day, and I had not gotten to the story till now. So it does not sound like, at a certain point, you'd be like, okay, I'm done with this cruise. I mean, I'm going to jump overboard, swim inshore. Going shopping with the girl in your life is perpetually one of the worst things men can endure, at least according to one Instagram account that captures photos of just how terrible it is to go shopping with the missus.
Do you agree with that?
I do.
I love shopping
I know you do.
with you.
This is so funny and it hits so close to home. I'm following this account now. The Instagram account miserable_men includes photos and user submissions of men looking very despondent as they wait for women to wrap up their shopping. And I clicked on there because somebody shared this with me and said they thought I would like it, and they know me so well. I laughed as I scrolled through. There's like one man, looks like he's passed out on a baby grand piano, and there's other people sleeping in the mall corner, and some of them sitting on steps, like a whole row of men sitting on steps. It's really a funny idea for an Instagram account. I've got a link to it. It's in the show notes. And one last thing here. Cereal is the easiest meal to make. You pour into a bowl or a glass, you put some milk on there, but what happens? It gets all soggy. So somebody came up with this invention. Heidi, this could be the best invention in the last 50 years.
All right, what's that?
Crunch Cup. It's a travel mug. You put your cereal in this one container and milk in another container, and they don't meet until they get in your mouth. So you tip the thing back, cereal falls in, milk pours in.
Do that.
You don't think so?
No.
They say everything from Fruit Loops to granola can go in without getting soggy. I've got a link to it. It's in the show notes for today. I think it's brilliant. If you like crunchy cereal, if you like soggy cereal, just mix it all together.
But I've seen you. I mean, I wouldn't be able to eat cereal out of a cup. I just wouldn't. But I've seen you drink cereal, and I think it's disgusting. So that's probably why I couldn't.
This is a whole different thing. With this new invention that I just ordered, I didn't really order one. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Student loan debt is out of control for many people. Are you one of them? The average graduate walks away with anywhere from $25,000 to $40,000 in student loans. Believe it or not, 2% even manage to owe over $100,000 by the time they graduate. If you have several different student loans, let us consolidate them into one loan and one payment at singlestudentloan.com. If you have only one student loan, we may be able to offer you a better rate to help you get that loan paid off sooner at singlestudentloan.com. That's singlestudentloan.com.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Very excited to visit right now with Roger Nygard. We're going to be talking about the truth about marriage, and this is kind of a special day because today being Valentine's Day, in addition to it being Valentine's Day, this is kind of a special day for the truth about marriage as well, isn't it, Roger?
Yeah, well, it's what more appropriate time to talk about marriage and relationships when everybody's wondering, what did I do wrong?
With today being Valentine's Day, this is also like the opening of this film. Is today like the first time people can see it?
Yes, I've been working on this film, actually, believe it or not, for 7 years. Finally finished it, and it's been screening at film festivals for a year and winning some awards, etc. But now it's being released to the public along with a companion book, also same title, The Truth About Marriage.
So if people would like to find the book, can they find that in bookstores? They find that online? Where do they find the book?
Barnes & Noble or Amazon. And the movie is being released on video on demand on iTunes or wherever you get your video.
Very, very good. We're going to throw a link to make it easy to find all of that stuff as well. But let's talk about this documentary that you've made, Truth About Marriage. Where did this concept come from, and how in the world did you come up with the idea to do this particular documentary?
It came out of my own failures. It's like, why am I doing everything wrong? It seems like it in relationships. And I discovered, when I thought about it, I realized nobody teaches you how to have a relationship in school. You have to go out and kind of figure it out on your own and make all these mistakes. Everyone's making the same mistakes when it would be simple if there was just a simple class that said, here are some basic things you should understand about being with somebody. And that's what I set out to find. In making this film, I tracked down many of the top psychologists, marriage therapists, scientists, and others, and talked to people who are married and not married, to just find out a very simple list of things I could do to make my life better in relationships. What are they? And you don't have to do these things, but only if you want to be happier, really.
As you were going through and doing the interviews with people and discussing this particular topic with people, were you seeing a lot of patterns over and over and over that just kind of kept coming up?
Yes, absolutely. We're all making the same mistakes. We're all doing relationships wrong, is what I learned from the experts, or some less wrong than others. Over time you figure out some things that work better. Here's an example. One of the biggest mistakes that men make, or the masculine, it's really more of a masculine-feminine thing, because everybody has some percentage of both within their personality makeup. Obviously, women tend to be more feminine, men tend to be more masculine. For the masculine, men are terrible listeners. They want to fix things. What the female, the feminine, needs, it's like a vitamin that if she doesn't get enough of it, she's not going to be happy. But if you give her what she needs, and here's what she needs. She needs 15 to 20 minutes of listening per night, per day. Honey, how was your day? How are you feeling about your day? And then shut up. She doesn't want your advice. She doesn't want you to fix it. She just wants you to listen. It's like a catharsis. She needs to just sort of express the feelings that have accumulated during the day. Now, it's kind of a pain in the right? Guy, I just want to get home and watch the game. But if you do that, you're going to pay for it. So the way towards a happier relationship, more passion in your relationship, everything going better, put your phone on airplane mode, make eye contact, connect, be present, and just say, how was your day? And then listen, and maybe offer a few, oh, that's terrible. Oh, that's wonderful. No suggestions. That's the hardest thing, because it's not natural for men. Normally, we want to suggest solutions, right? But don't do it. Give her that vitamin. Everything will go so much better in your life.
And when you're doing that's terrible and that's wonderful, make sure you have those in the right place, because that's going to help a lot.
You want to kind of prove you're listening.
Well, I appreciate you taking some time to chat with us, and I think this is a topic that it makes sense every day of the year, but today is one of those days, with it being Valentine's Day, that a lot of people probably do get a chance to maybe look at their relationship, their marriage, under a microscope on a day like today, because today's one of those days where you either get it right or you get it wrong, and if you get it wrong, it might take a while to get back out of the doghouse, right?
Yeah, better to stay out of the doghouse and actually get rewarded for doing it right like gratitude. You need to express gratitude daily and verbally.
I'm going to do everything I can to help. I'll throw a link to the trailer and to the info so they can watch the film, and then hopefully they'll get it all right, and you and I made the world a better place.
That's a nice goal, isn't it? Hopefully we do.
Well, mainly you. I just shared the link. But Roger, thank you again. I appreciate it, sir.
You're welcome.
Again, Roger Nygard. The movie is called The Truth About Marriage. I've got a link to that. Also a link to the book. All of the information in the show notes for today on this Valentine's Day edition of the John and Heidi Show.
Do you have a lucky shirt? FunkyMonkeyShirts.com has several lucky shirts to wear next month for St. Patrick's Day. Or if it's a really lucky shirt, you can wear it every day. Green shirts, four-leaf clovers, Irish sayings, and more. Don't wait. If you order your lucky shirt right now, it can be here in time to wear for St. Patrick's Day. Find t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, and more at FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. That's FunkyMonkeyShirts.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Redheads are not going extinct. Every once in a while, you'll see a little rumor that gets on the internet, and then it gets shared by enough people, and then all of a sudden it's just true, right? So according to the rumor on the internet that by the year 2060, redheads will be extinct. Well, luckily for redheads everywhere, it's just a myth. It says, it is true that the gene that causes red hair is recessive, meaning that both parents must now have that gene for their child to have red hair. But non-redheads can also carry that gene, so it can pop up even if you don't have red hair.
If you don't have red hair,
so the
you can
gene
have a
is
child
there
who does.
even if the hair is not there.
Right.
So they're saying, no, you're not going to go extinct. It's all good. So, again, calm down. It's going to be fine. And that is today's fun fact.
When was the last time you got a new credit card? If you have a card that's been in your purse or wallet for a long time, you should check and see if you're getting the best rates. You may find a better credit card that will give you the points you want or cashback options you don't get right now. At bettercreditcards.com, you see all the major credit card companies and their best offers. Let them compete to earn your business. And if the one you have right now is better, keep it. Find a card that's a better fit for you at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now some news headlines from somewhere in this world. Dateline China. Sadly, we're still talking about the coronavirus. China has now unveiled an electronic tracking device that you are supposed to clamp on if you have the coronavirus so they can keep track of where you are. Wait a minute. Wait, what? What?
Why would you be out wandering around
I don't
anywhere
know.
if you have the coronavirus?
I think they want to be able to keep you quarantined, and then if you get out there, they'll be able to track you and catch you. Apparently, I don't know this. Every time I read a story about this, it sounds more and more like a movie, doesn't it?
Please don't go out of the house if you have coronavirus.
Yeah, and the thing is, I've been also reading that it's been blown way out of proportion, and I hope
I've
that's
read that as
true.
well.
I hope that the over-exaggeration is just that, over-exaggeration, because I'd hate to find out it is really as bad as some people think.
But I would rather be overly cautious than not cautious
That's
enough.
why if you see Heidi, she's got this really cool new ankle monitor. So just in case she has the coronavirus.
Never know.
There you go. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
It's a new year. Have you made a resolution to quit drinking or to finally get away from drugs for good? These are both habits that are hard to kick, but you can do it. We want to help you. TimeForRehab.com is here to help you find the help you need with your particular situation. If you want to make this year the year you get the help you need to live a normal life again, start with a little help from us at TimeForRehab.com. That's TimeForRehab.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Police in Connecticut are trying to identify a man that got a job at a gas station and stole $17,000 worth of cash and prizes on his first night. When I say prizes, it was merchandise.
Oh, my gosh.
So it was his very first and his only solo overnight shift, and then he just never came back.
Oh, my gosh.
He stole his employment folder, which contained all of his personal info, so the store owner doesn't even know who the guy was. Hamden Police said in a statement, police responded to the Go On Gas store late last month. Owners said they used an app to track his cell phone he used an app on the cell phone to look at the security cameras and noticed that the new employee had left. The owner went to the store, and that's when he determined, he had stolen a bunch of lottery tickets, 89 boxes of cigarettes, and all the cash totaling worth more than $17,000 altogether. The employment file with the person's info was in there, too. So he's like, I don't know. What was his name? Kyle? Mike? I don't know.
Good news is his face would have been on that same security system.
Yeah, so hopefully he'll get caught. But what a weird story. That's today's Weird news.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh, brought to you by SingleStudentLoan.com. A Clearwater, Florida man is facing a felony charge after police say he threatened to shoot up his dentist's office following a disagreement about his dentures. Whoa.
Uh-oh.
Calm down, 66-year-old Bruce G. Clark. He was booked on the jail, and it says he was making threats of violence with a firearm. Bail was set at $10,000. He's being held. The arrest report says he sent his sister to the dentist's office January 5th to pick up a pair of dentures that had been made for him. The office told the woman she could not pick up the dentures for another patient. The sister then put Clark on the phone. During the conversation, he was belligerent and used foul language. The arresting officer put in the report, he told the victim, I ought to come down there and shoot all of you. Well, I can't say the rest of it on the radio.
So I get what they were saying because dentures are not cheap.
Yeah.
So they don't want something to happen to them
Yeah.
and then have him come into them and say, hey, where are my
I understand
dentures?
that. Officer noted that he put the victim in fear and was constantly looking out the window for his vehicle while they were working in the office because they were
Right.
very concerned that he was going to show up and
Yikes.
follow through. So you don't do that. That's a bad idea. I think I say that every time we have moment of duh. But yeah, if you do something like this, you're going to end up right here, probably in jail, and also in today's moment of duh.
When was the last time you got a new credit card? If you have a card that's been in your purse or wallet for a long time, you should check and see if you're getting the best rates. You may find a better credit card that will give you the points you want or cashback options you don't get right now. At bettercreditcards.com, you see all the major credit card companies and their best offers. Let them compete to earn your business. And if the one you have right now is better, keep it. Find a card that's a better fit for you at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now, fake news or Florida? Heidi, tell me, is this a true story from the great state of Florida, or is it made up just to trick you and amuse me?
Okay.
All right. Fake news or Florida? A Brockville, Florida woman was arrested for assault after beating her boyfriend with a pork chop. Fake news or Florida?
I'm going to say Florida.
It is a true story. Yeah. And it's not funny to hit somebody with anything, but it just sounds funny to say she smacked him with a pork chop. Like, how would you do that?
You know, there are some disturbances that you're like, seriously, you got smacked with a pork chop and you're going to call the police?
But you don't know how hard he was hit. You don't know how old he was. Again, keep in mind, this is in Florida. This guy could be, who knows how old.
Well, okay.
And you don't know how old she is. You don't know all of the details. So without knowing that, it's really hard. You know, again, no matter what it is, domestic disputes are not funny. And anytime there's assault involved, it's not funny. But I've got a link to the story if you want to read the details. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. This is a really cool story. It comes your way courtesy of bettercreditcards.com, and this story is from 1974. Okay. And I don't know why we're just learning about this now, but here's the story. It says, former heavyweight boxer Ronnie Russell recently revealed that Queen Elizabeth II paid off his mortgage as a way to thank him for saving Princess Anne from an attempted kidnapping in 1974.
Wow.
Russell, age 72, was only 28 years old on the day he thwarted Ian Ball's attempt to kidnap Prince Anne in central London. Russell, who took a bullet for the princess before punching Ball to the ground, told the Daily Mail he can still remember the event vividly. For his bravery, the Queen awarded Russell a George Medal, which he said is reluctantly being sold in light of his poor health and to provide for his future. And here's a quote that I don't quite understand. It says, the medal is from the Queen, but I want to thank you as Anne's mother. Oh, I get it. So she's saying, I'm the Queen.
I'm her mother.
This is the Queen, but I'm thanking you.
But I'm thanking you as her mother. Right. Okay.
There we go.
That's
that
cool.
makes sense now. Because I was like, who is she?
Right.
She is the Queen. It makes sense now. Russell revealed he recently has an issue, a sepsis, and he needs to get money, so he's selling this George Medal to pay off his future needs, including his funeral preparations. How sad is that? He said, It was something I said I would never, ever do, selling of a sentimental item. And I've got a picture here that shows this and says that his mortgage was paid by her way back then as a thank you for his heroism. He recalled police visiting his home before the medal ceremony, asking him during that discussion if he had a mortgage, and he thought that was kind of weird that they would ask that, but that's why.
Oh, wow.
So, well, we're going to tell you this a little early. The Queen wants to pay off your mortgage as a gift for doing what you did. So,
wow,
it's a beautiful story. It's a lovely story, and I'm
amazing.
sad to hear that we're just only learning this now at towards the end of his life. What a cool thing.
Yeah.
So it's really neat. I've got a link to the story. It's in the show notes. Thank you for sending that, by the way. If you find a cool story that you think I should share, you can submit that as well at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.